Boy, the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying fly, Eagles, fly as they get ready to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Bortles now on first down. Looking and finding Allen Hurns. And he'll be knocked down sideways at the 49. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Shift together here from the D-line. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
And Leonard Fournette impressing there with that run. It's hard to believe that no Jacksonville Jaguar has broken 1,000 yards since Maurice Jones-Drew in 2011. I think Leonard Fournette could be that guy.
Even with the ankle injury last year at LSU, still averaged 6.5 yards per carry.
And absolutely intimidated opposing defenses. A lot of guys simply didn't want to tackle him.
9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Fournette, a first down carry. Working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26.
That run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville. Take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
Now Bortles. That's complete right around the 8. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it, and he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. A great effort there, taking it in. And the Jaguars drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Josh Lambo now for the point after. And this is up and good. The score now 7-0 Jaguars. Here's Lambo out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. Takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
And this one will go to the 28-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up a touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Here we go on 4th down with Wentz. And this is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Before the offense changes hands here, let's look back at the Super Bowl February 5th. What a game. I know you were there calling it offensively, though. Impressive on both sides.
It certainly was, and let's face it, if you're in Minnesota, it's cold outside, but you talk about the offenses, they heated up in a big way. And how about Nick Foles? The backup quarterback turned MVP, 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, and, of course, the big one receiving on the Philly special.
Quite a story. As you and I were talking about off air, it was just a fluid game, not a lot of penalties, just really clean play.
Exactly the type of game the NFL needed for the audiences at home watching the game and, of course, people in attendance. A really well-played game.
A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. On 2nd down, here's Fournette. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
They'll try to punch it in with Fournette, and he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. And it's good to make it 14-0. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Eagles will take over here in just a second on offense. And Charles, as you look back to the Super Bowl title run that they just had, what were some of the moves that made that possible?
I'll keep it on the offensive side of the ball because I thought their front office did a fantastic job of having answers in case things happen. Carson Wentz goes out, well, they'd sign Nick Foles to back him up. That worked out pretty well. Getting Alshon Jeffrey as a weapon outside to help them in the passing game. Darren Sproles gets hurt at running back. Corey Clement was signed as an undrafted free agent. He filled in well, and they traded for Jay Ajayi. And how about Jason Peters losing the all-world left tackle? And Halapua Vitae, who they drafted the year before, filled in quite capably. They had answers for everything they needed.
So down inside the 5-yard line, I have to say, really just a poor job defensively there.
You're exactly right. As a former defensive back, that was not played well at all. But give credit to the offense and give credit to the guy running the football.
And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Jay Ajayi, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles are back within a score. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive. And how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Elliott now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Jags taking over on offense here in a second. And what a season, Charles, it was for Jacksonville. Some people did like them as a dark horse coming into the year, and they really responded.
Heard recently at one of the, all-star games, college all-star games, a scout saying, well, heck, haven't they been the dark horse for the last 5 years coming into the season? And he seemed a little bit bitter, so I'm going to let him go on that one. But the point is well taken. They had been building towards this. Really good drafts, really supplemented in free agency. And, yeah, they were a dark horse, but they played awfully well. 11 wins, 2 more in the playoffs. I think right now they'd love to get Allen Robinson back at wide receiver and add another playmaking tight end.
Bortles on the give to Fournette. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
There he goes, right side. 20. Touchdown, Jaguars. A big play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. It's good, and it is now 21-7. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. So the football switching hands here in just a second. And, Tom Brady, just to go off on a tangent for a second, may have lost the Super Bowl, but 3rd MVP this past season, and what he did at age 40, really something, right, Charles?
Absolutely phenomenal. Ended up beating out Todd Gurley, the running back for the Los Angeles Rams. But he would have traded it for a Super Bowl win, don't you think? How about this? The last 9 NFL MVPs to play in the Super Bowl that same season, 0-9.
Yeah.
We go all the way back to Kurt Warner in, 1999, where he won the double?
We were going over that stat earlier. That is hard to believe.
But he would have been the MVP had the Patriots pulled that one out.
Yeah, he still has 5 rings, though. 5 Super Bowl titles for Brady. So still a full 10 yards to go here for the offense on 3rd down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. On play action, Wentz. Flush to his right. And incomplete on the deep ball. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10. They do go for it. It's Wentz going for the deep ball. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. I want to give a hat tip real quick, Charles, to J.J. Watt before the possession switches here. Walter Payton, NFL Man of the Year. They totaled up how much he helped raise for hurricane relief, $37 million.
Incredible. Hurricane Harvey, which really hit the Houston area in a big way, and his original goal was $200,000. So congratulations to J.J. Watt and all the people who participated. And Greg Olsen of the Panthers, Benjamin Watson of the Ravens, both tight ends, also nominated and finalists for the most prestigious award as determined by the NFL, the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he'll get this down only to the 18. He needed 2. He got 1. And that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
They'll go with a big back Fournette. And he takes it in. Touchdown, touchdown, Jacksonville. A great effort there. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming after.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it down. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. CD, I want to get your thoughts on some potential free agents this offseason before we change the possession here. Now, caution, many of these guys could be re-signed, I know, but who are some of them? Kirk Cousins is one.
Yeah, we're talking about difference makers. Kirk Cousins at the quarterback position. He's going to be coveted around the league by quarterback-needy teams. Case Keenum had a big year. Could he move? But how about running backs? Le'Veon Bell, Dion Lewis, some pass catchers. Jimmy Graham, Jarvis Landry, Sammy Watkins. And about the guy who goes and gets quarterbacks, DeMarcus Lawrence had a monster year for Dallas last season.
Yeah, a lot of big names that could be out there as free agents. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so. Now it's Ajayi. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble. Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Here's Ajayi. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down. Play action. Now Wentz. And he's going to go out of bounds. He takes this one down shy of the 20. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Well, that certainly looked like the Torrey Smith we knew in Baltimore. A guy who can just run past defenses, and what do they say? Take the top right off of them.
Game-changing speed, and the days in Baltimore good, days in San Fran not so. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Nelson Aguilar in the final seconds of the first half. And the Eagles get a score closer. It's up and good, and it's now 28-14. Elliott now to kick this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back right at the 45. But before the possession switches here, I had written down that I wanted to talk about some of the awards this past season in the NFL. We know Brady was the MVP, but Todd Gurley, Offensive Player of the Year.
How about that for a bounce back? Many were questioning whether he'd had a sophomore slump the season before. Didn't even get to 1,000 yards. Was a dominant force in 2017. How about his teammate Aaron Donald on the defensive side? He took home Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, very impressive. They had both sides of the ball. Sean McVay deserving, I think you would agree, of Coach of the Year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what he did for the Rams when they went from last in the league in scoring to leading the league in scoring and winning a division title. And how about the New Orleans Saints? Rookie of the Year, offense and defense. Alvin Kamara on offense, Marshawn Lattimore on defense.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a third and about 7 left. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And he'll get this one up to the 26. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Boy, not deterred from those first 2 failed attempts. They're going to go a 3rd time here on 4th down. They're going to try and throw. And it is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They'll toss it to Fournette. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And look out, a big hit to the shoulder pads took him right off his feet.